says, I know Will. He's a good guy. I just think he's had enough. I think he put the world on notice. You say, I think he put the world on notice. You think he put the world on notice of what?
What I meant by put the world on notice is he's letting you know, you talk about me, my wife, you try to clown me, this could happen to you.
Oh no! I forgot to punch out.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Anybody else want a whiskey?
Yeah.
All right, look, pay attention, everybody.
I think there's nothing more important than having a man who's on his purpose, or the message you put out there tends to come directly back at you.
Know your limits.
Well, can't afford to know them.
And what's going to happen on the day that you find out.
We all know how much you like to say, I told you so.
On that day, even I won't want to.
A few moments later.
Mr. Squidward, it's not time for your break. I'm taking a permanent break from you!
Doctor, this whole manosphere thing. Are you seriously telling me that the dude who stood on stage and let a grown man come up and slap him in the face is stronger than the dude who slapped him? And man, he Mike Lowry that fool. He slapped him and pimped his suit off. And you want to sit up here and tell me that the bigger man was the dude who sat there and took it for a bag? That's what we telling our black men. Sell out and get slapped in the face for a bag so you can entertain the white.
Wrong.
No, you're saying black men exchange your freedom if you can't take a joke.
And this is like a road rage incident. In Will Smith's case, he's having a couple bad years, right? So they're going to lash out. And it's not good. It shows insecurity. It reveals a lack of control. And it's just not strong behavior. Because the strong person's not going to get bothered by.
It has begun!
Nothing! Because if you think you're gonna walk up on this stage, this ain't the motherfucking Oscars. And if you walk up here, you ain't nominated for these motherfucking hands.
That is one big pile of shit.
What does it mean to resign from the Academy, and what will happen to Will Smith's Oscar now? Will Smith resigned from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences on Friday, prompting many to wonder whether he will be able to keep his Best Actor Oscar. Will Smith resigns from Film Academy after inexcusable Oscars slap. Will Smith on Friday announced his resignation from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences amid continued fallout over his slap for presenter Chris Rock. He described his actions in a written statement as shocking, painful, and inexcusable. The list of those I have hurt is long and includes Chris, his family, many of my dear friends and loved ones, all those in attendance, and global audiences at home, he continued. I betrayed the trust of the Academy. I deprived other nominees and winners of their opportunity to celebrate and be celebrated for their extraordinary work. I am heartbroken. Smith said he would fully accept any and all consequences for my conduct. If he was willing to accept all consequences, he should have allowed the Academy of Motion Pictures to actually remove him rather than preemptively removing himself.
If Will Smith had been expelled, he would have joined a small group of people kicked out of the Academy, including Bill Cosby, Roman Polanski, and Harvey Weinstein, or as they're also known, Bad Boys for Life.
Academy President David Rubin wrote in a statement that the organization had received and accepted Mr. Will Smith's immediate resignation and would continue to move forward with our disciplinary proceedings ahead of a board meeting on April 18th. Smith's resignation means he cannot participate in Oscar voting or attend certain Academy events, but unless the Academy decides otherwise, it does not affect his Best Actor win or award eligibility going forward, so he could still win another Oscar technically in the future. It is unclear whether he will attend next year's ceremony to present Best Actress, as is tradition for the previous year's Best Actor winner. The Academy apologized to the stand-up comedian in its statement Wednesday and noted that things unfolded in a way that we could not have anticipated. That same day, Rock performed for a sold-out crowd. So again, what does it mean to resign from the Academy? And again, this is according to People magazine. Now that Smith has resigned from the Academy, he will no longer enjoy the benefits that members are afforded. This includes access to screeners for films in consideration and the ability to vote for potential nominees. The Academy's Code of Conduct, which was majorly revised in 2017 in the wake of Harvey Weinstein scandal, includes disciplinary measures that may include private reprimand. In a normal corporation, the fact that you can get fired from a private reprimand, I could see it being serious. But again, he's not losing anything other than the benefits of being able to vote and the annual grab bag, as well as seeing private screenings of all these movies. Public reprimand, temporary or permanent loss of eligibility to receive or hold, or revocation of Academy Awards or honors. And again, Harvey Weinstein never had his award removed even after what he did. So the fact that people think that his award is going to be revoked, I think, is not very logical. There's other people who did far worse things than Will Smith, and they didn't get their award revoked. Academy of Motion Pictures was smart, and they definitely wanted to send a message, is rescind all the awards. Rescind Harvey Weinstein's award, rescind Will Smith's award. I would think that the Academy of Motion Pictures are really waiting to see how the crowd perceives what they're going to be doing, which is why they're acting so slowly, and I think it's a shame. Unfortunately, in this case, they're doing things extremely slow, and it seems to be partially an issue of bureaucracy, checks and balances, and ends up being a very slow process. Another process is they're trying to save as much face as possible. And of course, the government organization that actually evaluates TV shows hit the Oscars with, I think, 65 violations due to Will Smith not only slapping Chris Rock, but also the violence on TV, not having a disclaimer to disclaim any sort of action, and everything else. So I'd be curious if the Oscars is going to pay that fine, or if they're going to assess that fine to Will Smith. I'm pretty sure that won't hit the news. I'd be very curious to see if it does. While the Academy has stipulated over this week that disciplinary proceedings against Smith will be laid out at the next scheduled board meeting, April 18th, and that he has a 15-day window to provide a written response. His resignation on Friday could conceivably mean that it will be up to him to decide whether or not he wants to come back in the future. However, his admittance back into the Academy will of course be at the discretion of the board of 54 members. So for any board, again, for those of you that don't understand what the Academy's board, you have an organization of 54 members. Will Smith would be the 55th. In order to be able to vote on anything, you have to have what's called a quorum. It's written down in the articles within the actual organization in order to make fair judgments or rulings if there's a vote. In the simplest terms, a quorum consists of actually 50 to 51%. However, other boards can actually set a slightly higher precedence, which can actually cause further problems. Say, for example, if this particular board requires board members of 70 to 75% to be in attendance to do a vote, if 75% of the members don't show up on April 18th, then it actually gets pushed out on the next date. However, unfortunately, since board members are volunteer, they don't get paid, or they're not supposed to get paid. It's unfortunate, but this could be pushed out even further, which is ridiculous. Now, I would say the fact that he resigned, he doesn't necessarily need to come back, but depending upon who's on that board, depending upon if they actually like Will Smith, he may actually be back on the board. Could Will Smith have his Oscar rescinded? The only time the Academy has ever rescinded a statuette was for the 1967 documentary. The 1967 documentary, Young Americans, which it retroactively found had been released too early to be eligible for the Oscars in 1969. While Weinstein and Roman Polanski have been ejected from the Academy due to their respective abuse scandals, both men still have their Oscars, LA Times reports. This makes it highly unlikely that Smith will lose his trophy, even though it was awarded shortly after his onstage attack of Rock. Netflix backs away from Will Smith film Fast and Loose. It's also been said that Sony Pictures was actually sponsoring the Bad Boys 4, which is also tabled. So they're waiting to see, as far as what happens, the determination of the Academy is going to determine as far as a punishment for him, and then weigh in the magnitude on whether or not they're going to pull the trigger on it. So he has a lot of different things going on, and again, the unraveling of all this drama, all this different stuff going on, they're wanting to see on whether or not they're going to still execute these projects, probably checking the contracts to see if they can even pull out at this point or not, or what the penalty will be for withdrawing. In his April 1st statement resigning from the Academy, Smith said, "Changes take time, and I am committed to doing the work to ensure that I never again allow violence to overtake reason."
What would you have me do?
Endure. Take it. They'll hate you for it, but that's the point. He can be the outcast. He can make the choice that no one else can make. The right choice.
Today you get to say I told you so.
Today, I don't want to. But I did bloody tell you.
So much information. Think about it. Your prison. It's all up here. I see you. The choice is yours. Take a moment. Let it digest. And remember, you're always welcome here, but we sure as hell aren't for everyone.